What unfolds when a royal leaves the palace, slips off her heels, and chooses not a throne but a microphone? When the world frames you with headlines, how do you seize back your voice? Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is no longer seeking approval. She's sharing her truth, one revelation at a time. This is more than a podcast. It's a movement, a reflection, and a statement. And it begins with Confessions of a Female Founder.
From archetypes to authenticity. A new beginning.
In 2022, Meghan Markle ventured into Podcasting with Archetypes, a series created to challenge the stereotypes that hold women back. It was raw, fearless, and unapologetic. Yet after only one season, Spotify ended it, and the world seemed to move on. But Meghan didn't. She paused, reset, and watched as the media once again narrated her life for her. And then she came back. This time, free of royal titles and tabloid chatter. Not as a duchess bound by protocol, but as Meghan. Simply Meghan. That's how she presents herself now. Not Meghan Markle. Not the Duchess of Sussex. Just Meghan. Because the truth is, when you've been a duchess, a mother, a wife, an actress, a global icon, sometimes the most radical act is simply becoming yourself again. Episode 1 of Confessions of a Female Founder arrived with a quiet thunder. An intimate dialogue between Meghan and Whitney Wolfe Herd, the founder of Bumble, a trailblazer who disrupted the tech world with her own brand of defiance. But what emerged wasn't just a tale of startups and strategies. It was a soul-bearing reckoning with postpartum struggle, relentless public gaze, and the silent battle fought by women striving to balance ambition with motherhood. And now, with her new podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, she's rewriting the script once again. Not with crown and pageantry, but through unguarded conversations and raw vulnerability.
The first confession, postpartum pain and power.
In the very first episode, Meghan doesn't tiptoe in. She plunges straight into one of the darkest chapters of her life, postpartum preeclampsia, a rare, life-threatening condition. High blood pressure, protein in the urine, seizures, silence. It's the kind of story headlines rarely tell. Yet it's the kind of truth millions of women endure in silence. Meghan revealed how, in the stillness after birth, she was still expected to perform, to smile, to pose, to stand in heels just hours after delivering a child. The world witnessed glamour. But behind the camera, it was pain, fear, fragility. Whitney Wolfe Herd, Bumble's founder and Meghan's guest, understood instantly. She too had faced postpartum preeclampsia, calling it a life-or-death moment. And in that moment, two powerhouse women, one a royal, one a tech visionary, were no longer icons of success, but mothers, survivors, storytellers.
Media, misogyny, and the mask.
For years, Meghan's name has been bent and twisted into every tabloid storyline imaginable. From palace halls to paparazzi flashes, the world dissected her choices like a spectator sport. And yet, here on this podcast, the lens disappears. No glam squad, no polished sound bites. Just unfiltered truth. Whitney opened up about the ruthless misogyny she faced while building Bumble after taking Tinder to court for sexual harassment. Meghan listened. She nodded. She understood. Because even if their worlds are different, their battles are the same. You're going to take a hit, Meghan said. And there will come a moment when you must decide, will I shrink or will I rise? Those words aren't only for founders or royals. They're for every woman who has ever had to stand tall while the world tried to pull her down.
Founders, not fairy tales. Building as ever.
But Confessions of a Female Founder isn't just a podcast. It's the pulse of something larger, as ever, Meghan's new lifestyle brand. The very first product launch, raspberry jam. Not because it's pretty, not because it's trending, but because it's real, tangible, a symbol of comfort, of motherhood, of imperfection. And it sold out in under an hour. Yet the pressure never left. Meghan confessed the unboxing kept her awake at night. Every label, every texture, every sprinkle of edible flour. Her perfectionism felt suffocating. But Wolfe Herd offered a mantra worth gold to any overthinking founder. Will it matter in 5 minutes? 5 hours? 5 years? Because sometimes the boldest act of all is letting go.
Laptops and lullabies. Redefining work-life balance.
The conversations on Confessions of a Female Founder don't avoid the messy, beautiful chaos of real life. Meghan shared how she builds her brand while Lilibet naps just a room away. And yes, sometimes her toddler wanders into meetings, climbs into her lap during Zoom calls with executives. That isn't chaos, it's clarity. Because success doesn't have to live in a power suit or a boardroom anymore. Sometimes it shows up in pajamas, with crayon marks smudged across your laptop. I don't want to miss those moments, Meghan said. Pick up, drop off, potty training. It's a truth millions of working mothers have been waiting for. You don't have to choose between the corner office and the nursery. You can build while balancing. You can lead while listening. You can show up exactly as you are, and that is more than enough.
A new chapter. Meghan's next move.
This podcast isn't only about confessions, it's about connection. It's about rewriting the rules, not just for founders, but for every woman building something from the ground up. A business, a family, a new sense of self. Meghan is no longer asking to be liked. She's not here to be flawless. She's here to be present, to tell the stories that matter, to speak not just for herself, but for the millions of women who were told to sit still, smile politely, and never, ever complain. Well, she's done smiling for the cameras. Now, she's speaking into the mic. And this time, the world is listening. Meghan has further stated that the podcast quietly pushes back against the belief that women must divide their lives into separate parts to achieve success. Meghan and her guests aren't only celebrating their career highlights, they're revealing the unfiltered, authentic moments that truly shape their paths. From challenges after childbirth to conflicts in the boardroom, these dialogues break down the illusion of having everything and replace it with something far more meaningful, the freedom to be human. It stands as a call to anyone who has ever believed their struggles made them unworthy of success, rather than recognizing them as the very ground on which success is built. Confessions of a Female Founder is more than a podcast. It's a diary, a revolution, a reminder that behind every brand beats a human heart, pushing through adversity, dreaming through doubt, and daring to speak the truth. Because the most powerful confession is realizing you don't need permission to be who you already are. And this is what makes Confessions of a Female Founder strike a chord. It isn't Meghan's celebrity status, but her refusal to let fame polish away the rough edges of her story. In a culture fixated on flawless narratives, she's opting for grit instead of gloss. And by doing so, she's amplifying the unspoken struggles women face every single day. Be it the weight of performing perfection or the guilt of juggling drive with family. This show is more than Meghan's return. It's a lifeline for every woman daring to rewrite her own narrative. Commentators in Hollywood such as Ben Cesario, Hannah J. Davies, and many others from the New York Times and The Guardian point out that at its essence, Confessions of a Female Founder tears down duality. The belief that women must choose between being fierce or fragile, ambitious or caring, royal or approachable. Meghan's readiness to live in that unpolished in-between is her boldest act of defiance. She isn't simply running a podcast. She's building a space where scars stand as proof of power, where vulnerability is not a trendy term but a rallying cry. And within a media world that still confines women to stereotypes, that isn't just welcome. It's revolutionary. If you found value in this deep dive into Meghan's bold new chapter, tap that like button, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who's ever felt they had to hide behind a mask. And drop your confession in the comments, because every founder carries a story, and it's time we start listening.